What I've really been waiting for when it comes to Gen Z is for their next artist to arrive.
I don't wanna go another day, so I'm telling you exactly what is on my mind. See the way we ride in our private lives, ain't nobody getting it.
What is good? What is happening? What is BEA, beautiful ladies and gentlemen? I'm your host, JLW, and I want to thank you all so much for joining me for this episode of Stand On Business, episode 63. What am I talking about when I say I'm waiting for the next Gen Z artist? There are plenty of Gen Z individuals that are doing their thing right now, whether it's in politics or in film and even in music, looking towards Billie Eilish. But in general, when I look towards the music scene, I've been waiting for either that group or that voice that comes out and defines a generation.
It's going to be really, really interesting to form a band without seeing each other.
I want a girl group.
I 100% want to be in a boy band.
Something's got a hold on me lately. Oh, I don't know myself anymore.
Yes!
We have got to talk about this show, Building the Band, because there were so many great things. So many great things. We're going to take 50 singers and we're going to put them in pods, their own little rooms, and they're going to put on headphones one by one. Each of them are going to go up and sing. And if you like the individual that's singing, you're going to hit a button and it's basically going to light you up and say that I want to work with you to build a band. What we then get is an introduction to a wide range of just incredible voices. Everybody that goes up on this stage, for the most part, there may be one or two that were kind of like, oh, it was very here. Like, it wasn't that they couldn't, nobody could not sing, but there were certain individuals that you were like, oh, you would sound very good. You would be the best person at karaoke. But there were a few that had voices that you go, holy, where the have they been this entire time? Now, I also want to say that we are now living the era when it comes to these reality shows that it's no longer individuals randomly plucked from the street. Gone are the days where you could be walking through the mall and some TV casting manager is going to be like, "Ooh, talent. Hey, do you want to come audition for?" No. How this now works is you need to have a following. I don't care what it is. It could be YouTube. It could be not Facebook, but it could be IG. It could be TikTok. It could be Snap, whatever. You need to have a following. You need to be public. People need to be interested in your life. And that is how you then either apply or somebody comes and goes, hey, would you be interested in being in a show? I know this because I've been through this process for a show that's filming right now that I can't talk about right now, but I went through this process. And so I know that the individuals that are on the show have already been vetted from that standpoint. All these individuals already have some type of following. It doesn't mean that they have millions of followers, but they could have like 10,000 followers, something that suggests, hey, if I put you on TV, you're also going to have a built-in network to come with you. And so the real kind of hook of the show is the fact that all of these artists are building their band based off voices alone, which is a really great premise. Later on, you get Nicole Scherzinger, who comes into the show and says that this is giving the artists back the power. They're going back to the old school ways of letting the talent put together their group. Now, I'm not in the music industry. I don't know if that's changed so drastically now where individuals are being put together by executive producers. I'm sure that is a thing. I don't know how many of the groups that we're seeing, which we don't have that many groups anymore, come from somebody saying like, oh, you, and you, and you, and you. So anyway, that is the introduction into this whole show, man. And I thought it was a brilliant premise. And the thing that I love so much about this was that, again, everybody on the show is early 20s, right? The oldest person we really see is like 26. So all these individuals are firmly Gen Z talent. And I don't know how you all feel, but I'm now getting to the point in life where I'm ready to see what the next generation brings to the table. I'm ready to see, like I said, the next megastar whose voice transcends their generation and speaks to everybody. Like, I feel like it's been so long since we've had a voice like a Chris Brown, like an MJ, like a Prince.
Man, he's gonna have me cry.
It's hard for me to say I'm jealous of the way.
We, on one hand, our very first group that's formed, season 4 is what they're eventually going to be called, is to me the most truthful group of the whole thing. If we were to say producers had no hands in selecting who was going to be with who, and this is truly going in blind and picking off voices, they're the group that looks like they actually were not manipulated at all. If you like that person, let's build a group. Because when the group have decided, once they've locked in, the 4 members or the 3 members have decided, hey, we want to work together. You then have a performance, and that's when they first get to see each other. And I remember sitting here, and I think it's like episode 2 is when they finally lock in the first group. And I remember seeing them, and I just went, this is the craziest looking group. Somebody later on, one of the judges basically say something like they're like the most human looking group. Or no, they say that this is the group that looks like they were hanging at the bus stop. And I think they might have said it kind of dismissively, but it's so true. This is like a group of individuals who just happen to randomly be standing beside each other waiting for the train. This is not a group that you would initially think is going to sell albums, or that you would run to, you know, Spotify or iTunes or whatever platform you use to buy their latest song. But then, even in that first song that they have to sing, the harmony is immediate. And you go, okay, they kind of look crazy together, but they sound incredible together.
Until that day, I'd rather take my whiskey neat. My coffee break.
This is incredible.
Spoilers if you haven't seen the show. Spoilers if you haven't seen the show. Because we're talking about it all. Okay, if you're still here, you want to hear the ending. So this is the last chance. Okay, the fact that they did not win this competition to me was kind of like, I understand the decision to go with the other group, which was Frequency. However, only based off the visual appeal of the group would I have chosen Frequency as the winners. The actual tone, richness, ability to move hearts and minds sonically, that trophy should be going home with 4 seasons. Because again, they were the most human group. They were the ones that connected the most whenever they came on on stage to perform. It looked like they had been doing this for years. Like, nobody ever gave them notes about, oh, you weren't on the stage or you seemed shy. They had one bad performance when they literally had changed a song like 14 hours before showtime. And the group is made up of Aaliyah Rose, Cameron Good, Donzel Taggart, and Katie Roeder. And it's so funny too, the way they introduced Cameron is so hilarious because
Wait a minute. This is definitely a boy.
That's a boy. Like, wait, that's a man. And it is, and his voice is just like that. It is angelic. Again, I cannot say enough about this group. Everybody, and you know, they remind me of like Pentatonics, because like I said, when I first saw them, I was like, I don't know how you sell that though. That's the hard part. I think that's what the judges were also struggling with. They're just like, I don't know how you would market this group. The next group I want to talk about, and I can't remember who like forms the actual group number 2, but the next group that I want to talk about is Solidified. Solidified to me, and I literally texted my brother too when they figured it out, consisted of Bradley Rittman, Landon Boyce, Malik Hurd, and Shade Jennifer.
What you say? Can we talk for a minute? Come on, hey. Girl, I want to know your name. Oh, girl, one more chance with you again. I will.
They could be the most dangerous group, and I actually stand on the hill that they are probably the most dangerous group out of the entire 6. These boys have a look that just would universally, to me, globally sell, because they hit kind of every market. Look at the personality and types that I just said. This isn't a typical group. You've got 2 white boys who have like 2 different flows of white, 2 black boys who have 2 different flows of black, and it all kind of, if it works, would be like, boom. We wouldn't have seen a group like this ever before. And that's why I think there's magic into having these 4 voices together. And they all have very, very, it's a range of voices. This is a group that is similar to those 90s boy bands. You can identify who's got the really strong voices and who's going to take leads in a lot of the songs, and then who's got those voices that will complement well and help sing those harmonies. And so, like, there's nobody trying to outshine the other. And again, talking about the look here, yo, you want to sell sexy again? You want to get individuals on and from every demographic interested in a boy band, where everybody goes like, oh, that's my favorite. Solidified would have been that group to me. I don't know what their status is now. The only thing that to me was really weak was the every time they hit the stage, there was never any cohesion. You always were excited to see them because they had the look, but then when they would start performing, you just go like, whatever you need, that gel that makes individuals go like, oh, like they really F with each other was missing. Also the name, and I'm glad that they told them this at some point, because there's a few names on here that need to be workshopped a lot more. Solidified was a terrible name, and I'm glad that Liam also told them like, hey, go back and figure something else out with that name. And they got, I think Iconics was kind of what they settled on, which isn't a bad name as well. I still think there's something stronger waiting for them, but Iconics is a lot better than Solidified. Is there anything else we want to say about this group here? Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to say about that group in particular. Like I said, they could be dangerous. Moving on, then we get Frequency. Frequency. So again, spoilers if you haven't seen the finale of Building the Band, but Frequency is the group that ends up winning it all, and Frequency consists of Brianna Mazzola, Nori Royale, and Winnie Quezada. This group is so fascinating to me to study because they disappear for me for a majority of the show. I forget that they had even formed a girl group, but every time they hit the stage, I was like, oh yeah, Frequency. And they would put on a show that made you go like, oh no, those girls are ready for today. Like you could literally take those girls right now, this 3-girl power group, put them on the stage, and they are your next TLC, they're your next Destiny's Child, they're your next whatever, insert great pop girl group. They sound great together. They've got a fierceness to them. They look cute. They got the dance. It's everything. It's the package, total package right here. If this was, if the show's purpose was to actually put together a fully functional band and start selling them all, this is the group that you would want, which is why I said, although sound wise, season 4 should have won, I understand why they go Frequency is going to take home the trophy, just because they were that was what you wanted out of the experiment, if it was truly an experiment. And I want to say this too about the experiment. Me personally, like I said, season 4 was the only group that to me seems like it was unmanipulated. I don't know this for sure, but everybody else seems like there was some manipulation in getting these people together. It just, the way that they were put together and constructed, I go like, there is a little bit of representation of everything that you kind of would want. You've got the sexy, you've got the typical boy band, you've got the power girl group, you got the diva group. It just seemed like some producers were like, let's kind of push some of these girls, some of these guys together. But yeah, Frequency, like they were it. And also with this group is, to me, again, vocally, there was all of them sound really good. Again, no bad singers here, but you know when you listen to like your favorite boy band groups or your girl band groups from the 90s and the 2000s, and you hear them now as an adult, you can identify the ones who are actually singers and can still sing, and those who could hold a tone, and look good and, you know, follow a 3 count or a dance, whatever, 4 count. The individuals in this group have one individual to me, and I'm gonna say the name. It's Winnie. I want to say Winnie.
Talking sheep, so show me that you understand. I like it. Can you blow my mind?
Yeah, girl.
Who's a star, like a superstar, ready to be put forward as the lead, and you can see that Beyonce trajectory for him. Not put her nowhere near that. Relax. Not put her on the Beyonce. I'm saying she's like Beyonce, but I'm just saying, like, out of this girl group that I already said is like that, she's the one that you go like, oh yeah, we're gonna sell this off of her. So enough about Frequency. Let's also talk about Midnight Till Morning, which is Connor Smith, Mason Watts, Shane Appel, Zach Newbold. This was a also super fun group.
In every hour, oh yeah, you got a higher power. You're once in any lifetime. I'm going 1,000,000 miles an hour.
This is the one where you're like, okay, we want to recapture what One Direction did with a new Gen Z form. And they all had like the variations on looks, all like, again, different flavors of white, but also very oddly similar. The only thing that was kind of holding them back is that they all seemed to want to be more like One Direction, which was on a whole lot of movement. And this show seemed to want to kind of force and push, get out there, dance, perform on the stage. And they were still a lot more closed off. And, you know, through their performances, you can say they did open up more. There was one performance where I thought they really let it go, and you saw especially Connor take a lead, and he's just, you know, he's doing the head banging, he's throwing the arm out, and he's getting the crowd engaged, and you're just like, okay, no, they did it. And the judges still kind of said, like, I still feel like you're holding back, or like, it was too much for me. And it was just like kind of confusing advice, even to me, the listener. Like, what do y'all want them to do exactly? Especially with, like, you know, a short amount of time together. But I think if you were to be like a Simon Cowell type producer and you're looking at a group, this is the group you go like, okay, once Netflix closes, I'm going over there, I'm grabbing those boys, we're going to work on this, because y'all have something that also, I think, right below solidified in terms of marketability and selling a look. The boys got it.
We couldn't turn around till we were upside down. I'll be the bad guy now. Hey. When the way ain't too proud. We do this every time. Seasons change and I love when it goes. Feed the flame 'cause we can't let it go. Run away, but we're running in circles. Run away, I dare you to go. Someday, I'm waiting on you again so I can take the blame.
The other thing, though, about this group, outside of the name, let's start with the name, actually. Midnight Till Morning. I hated this name. The entire time, I was like, who is allowing these individuals to put these names forward? Midnight Till sounds better than Midnight Till Morning, and Midnight Till is not a good name. So this is another group that I'm like, they should have workshopped this name, but again, they didn't have a lot of time to get these things together, so I get it. But they definitely got to change this up, because there's something better that would describe these four individuals. The other thing is the forced plot line that we got between Connor and Allison. This was the weirdest, most obvious kind of perversion of reality that I think we've seen in this show, because everything else about the show is geared towards singing and forming the band. This is the only moment where they kind of go like, let's look at some messiness, some drama. It just felt so out of place, because Allison already has this, she's been made to be the villain for sure. And she has some villain tendencies for sure. But what happens when you take the villain person and then you take Connor, who's got this very Harry Styles-esque personality to him? The hair, the tank top, the suspenders, it's that whole quirky thing is Connor. And let's see what happens when you put them together. Except let's stay very superficial with it. Let's just, you know, we'll show them talking for a few seconds, and then they're in the bedroom and the door's shut, and then there must be a relationship, and wait a minute, there's drama in the band now. We're seeing that Connor's not showing up because he's staying up all night with the old girl, even though we never see anything like that. And he's tired and his voice isn't working. The other boy band members they're afraid, like, what are we gonna do? We might have to get rid of Connor, and Connor feeling ganged up on, so he quits. It just felt very forced and fake, and I'm sure it was real, because I'm sure they're not lying to you, but it definitely felt egged on and just out of place. So let's move on to Siren Society, and this is the one that I'll have the least to say about, just because I forgot. This girl group, to me, again, felt manufactured, but also in a very boring way, very generic.
I know you do.
That's why whenever I come around, she's all over you.
But there was nothing special about this group. And that was the unfortunate thing, right? Like, you kind of get lost in the sauce amongst everybody else, because there was a uniqueness to what each group was presenting. And this was just a 4-person girl group with very beautiful girls. To the final group, Sweet Seduction, which was made of Allison Ogden, Elise Christine, and Haley Gossarin. This is probably the most fascinating girl group we had.
I miss you more than life. And if you can't be your memory is ecstasy. I miss you more than life. I miss you more than life.
If you're going to do a reality show, you're going to have a villain. You got to have something that people can hang on to and hate and want to tune back into. And that's what they were trying to make Allison. And I mean, they didn't have a hard job, because again, she was saying some wild things. Her expressions were wild. Everything about her just screamed very, very spoiled girl, you know? And also, here's the thing too. Allison has talent. And that's the thing about this group is I said there were three things outside of the producers making her a villain. The talent level amongst these girls is there. All three of them can sing their asses off. Very powerful. I want to say rich, but very powerful voices. Like clearly have been singing for a long time, knew what the heck they were doing. And that's what really worked against them is they were so powerful and so all alphas and so all leaders that putting them all together, they don't blend at all. Like every time they sang together, it was somebody, out riffing the other one or outperforming the other one or saying, hey, well, look what I can do. And to me, it felt like whenever they performed, they were like, F the competition. This is my moment to show national television, whoever else might be watching, what I can do. Especially the one that kind of had an Ariana Grande look to her. Like you could tell, very marketable, great voice. Like she solo career easy. The other one, like I said, that kind of had a very frilly, girly dress to her. There's such a uniqueness to her style and even her face, which is kind of like a heart shape kind of thing going on. You could definitely sell her in a almost Lorde fashion. Like there was something. I'm sure she's more pop, but like there was a quality to her that you're like, oh, I could also see her as a solo artist. And unfortunately, what kills them is that I think more than anything was the fact that Allison was not compromising. The other two girls were not willing to stand up for themselves and either, kick Allison out or tell her like, this is how it's going to be. Obviously, this is a play or a ripoff or another iteration of American Idol and Making the Band. It's a combination of both in that you have a talent show from American Idol and we're going to see people go up on stage and they're going to do their thing and they're going to compete to win a bunch of money, but also probably get some kind of recognition. But then also ripping off Making the Band and that, we're also going to include their personal lives and we're going to make them live together and we're going to, see what it takes to actually put a group of random strangers together and make a sellable product. And this is the newest version of that. And like I said, I don't watch a lot of reality TV anymore because I don't like to get sucked into that world. But this was a good show in that it's, to me, what the modern day best of American Idol and Making the Band is. Like, this is now, to me, what the new formula should be for a singing competition show, one that universally everybody could come in and enjoy. Like this season was good. There were so many incredible talents. Love season 4. Like I said, I like the idea of I solidified 3 Quincy, ready to go. Midnight Till, eventually they'll get it together and I think they could be something good as well. Siren Society, maybe move them to somewhere else. Sweet Seduction, solo careers. So much talent here, but wait for next season because as this show we already know took off, next season is going to draw even more individuals who are like, oh, I saw what they did. And it's going to, I'm telling you, if the show continues on the trajectory, we're going to get a GOAT band out of the show. We're going to look at another Day 26, Danity Kane type situation where 10, 20 years from now, people are going to be like, oh my God, I remember when what's his name was on that show and y'all came together and y'all became my favorite band. Anyway, that's all I got to say, man. I had a really good time watching this show. Y'all should check it out on Netflix. And that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to share this moment with y'all. Like I said, I want to talk about something and nothing all in one. It's a good time to see talent, to see music, to see that connection, to see that beauty in a world that feels so kind of upside down. These are the individuals that make you remind like, yo, we're not divided. We don't hate each other. There's love and there's beauty. And so I love these moments when I can find a show like that. And that's what I feel like this one did. So check it out. All right. I was y'all host, JLW. Let me know y'all's thoughts on the show, on the artists, on the groups, what you thought about my thoughts. You know how it goes. Drop it somewhere in the comment section below. I'm going to holler at y'all in the next episode of Stand On Business. Until then.
Nobody gonna love me better. I must stick with you forever. Nobody gonna take me higher. I must stick with you.